In Indonesia, there's this foundational idea that shapes the entire economy, that prosperity should be a joint effort. This is where cooperatives come in, meant to be the economic heart of their communities. But what happens when that heart starts to struggle? Today, we're going to dive deep into the massive support system built to help them not just survive, but actually thrive. Okay, so let's start right at the very beginning, the foundation. This one line from Indonesia's 1945 constitution, it's not just a nice little phrase, it's the core economic philosophy. It basically establishes that the economy should be a collaborative, community-first effort. And that makes the cooperative model less of a business choice and more of a central pillar of the entire nation's identity.
Now, that constitutional idea is rooted in something even deeper, called Pancasila. And if you're not from Indonesia, you can think of this as the nation's guiding philosophy, its DNA. Its principles of unity, social justice, and democracy are really the bedrock of the cooperative movement. It's why co-ops there are about so much more than just profit. They're about building a more just society.
All right, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll look at the strategic role cooperatives are supposed to play. Then we'll get into the challenges they're facing. After that, we'll unpack the government's playbook to help them, see how the rest of society pitches in, and finally, we'll tackle the big, looming question of sustainability.
So first up, let's really lock in on why these cooperatives are so incredibly important. I mean, they're not just another way to do business. They're seen as a strategic tool for building a fairer economy, right from the ground up.
And here's the crucial thing. Their mission is all about people. They exist to directly improve the lives of their members, to shrink that gap between the rich and the poor, and to bring folks who are often left out of the formal banking system into the economy. They are literally designed to be an economy for the people, by the people.
Okay, but here's where the story takes a turn. Despite this really vital role, a lot of cooperatives are struggling. That ideal picture we just painted is up against some pretty harsh realities, and that means they need help. This brings us to two really critical questions. What's going wrong here, and how do we fix it? The truth is, many cooperatives are kind of caught between their own internal weaknesses and external pressures they just can't handle on their own. They're part of a much bigger ecosystem, and they need support to have a real fighting chance. So, where is that help needed most? Well, we're talking about the absolute fundamentals: getting enough capital, being able to access financing, training people to improve their skills, getting help reaching bigger markets, and of course that crucial support to join the digital world. So, who steps in first? You guessed it, the government. And they've put together this really comprehensive, multi-layered strategy to tackle those exact needs we just saw. Let's break down their playbook.
So the government's whole approach is built on these four key pillars. It starts big, with policy and money. Then it moves to building the actual infrastructure. From there, it helps connect co-ops to customers through marketing. And finally, it works on strengthening the organizations from the inside out. Let's look at a couple of the specific tools they use.
A perfect example is the KeyUR program. This is a super powerful tool for financial inclusion. The government subsidizes the interest, which makes loans way cheaper. But here's the really clever part. The cooperatives themselves get to be the distributors, funneling this affordable capital directly to the members who need it most.
And then you've got the LPDB, Cum. Now, if KUR is about getting that initial capital, think of this as growth capital. It's a revolving fund aimed at co-ops that are already successful and productive. It gives them the larger, longer-term financing they need to scale up their operations and make an even bigger impact. But hey, support isn't just about cash. This building right here is SMSCO Indonesia. It's a government institution that's basically a physical gateway, a bridge connecting small producers from all over the country to big domestic and even global markets. You can think of it like a one-stop shop, helping with everything from packaging to warehousing, all to get local products out there on the national and world stage.
And finally, the government gets into the nitty-gritty of strengthening the cooperatives themselves. This isn't just about money, it's about building strong foundations. We're talking about guidance, regular audits, and standardizing their financial reports. It's all designed to make them more professional and well-run.
However, and this is a really big however, all this government support isn't a silver bullet. Huge challenges are still there. A large number of cooperatives are basically inactive, just a name on a piece of paper. Many still struggle with poor management, and getting members to actually show up and participate is a constant battle.
And those persistent challenges are exactly why the government can't be the only one helping out. You know the saying, it takes a village, and building a strong cooperative ecosystem is no different. So let's see how the rest of society gets involved.
Non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, play such a vital, on-the-ground role. They're like community empowerment agents. They work directly with members, providing education, financial literacy, and just hands-on assistance. They're often focused on the human side of things, building up skills and confidence from the bottom up.
Now, the private sector's role is, well, it's complex. It's like a two-sided coin. On one hand, they could be incredible partners, providing market access and capital. But on the other hand, a lot of the time their involvement is limited to these one-off ceremonial charity events that aren't sustainable, or they might just view cooperatives as junior partners instead of equals. And we can't forget about academia. Universities contribute really critical research on what works and what doesn't for cooperatives. Plus, through their community service programs, they provide direct mentoring in finance and management, all while giving their students some invaluable real-world experience.
So we've seen this incredible multi-layered support system, right? You've got the government, NGOs, the private sector, universities, they're all pitching in. But this leads us to the final, and maybe the most important question of all.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? With so many different players involved, how do you coordinate all of this support to make it truly effective and, most importantly, sustainable? How do you create a system that doesn't just prop up weak cooperatives, but actually empowers them to stand on their own 2 feet for generations to come? Answering that question will define the future of Indonesia's people's economy. Thanks for watching The Explainer.